Hello, brothers and sisters. Today I want to talk to you about Proposition 64 on the California ballot, November of 2016. This is called the Adult Use of Marijuana Act. And yes, they did add a bunch of nonsense to this proposition in order to get support from the self-righteous voters. But after careful research, I've come to the conclusion that this act will do much more good than harm. Not the other way around. I am so disappointed that the California Libertarian Party has endorsed voting no on this proposition. I've tried to contact every executive committee member of the California Libertarian Party on this subject, and I have not gotten even one response. This is how cowards work, folks. Support a proposition and then make yourself unavailable for correction or debate. Like this bold-faced liar. This is Scott Chipman of San Diego. He is leading the fight against legalizing marijuana and has been on the local radio show stating that he would debate anybody, but then makes himself unavailable for debate. I learned that he was going to be at the Redlands Tea Party meeting, and I made it a point to be there. The first thing I found was this piece of propaganda lying on the tables. It says, marijuana causes epilepsy. Oh, really? Well, take a look at this video testimony.
Millions are now aware of the cannabinoid-rich oil being used to help children in Colorado with epilepsy. Especially this one little girl, Charlotte Figge, after whom the Charlotte's Web strain of cannabis has been named.
It's okay, baby.
This is their daughter, Charlotte, having a seizure.
We had this strain that we were actually going to use for cancer patients because studies have shown that CBD helps stops the metastasizing of cancer. So we went ahead and tried it because we knew it was very low in THC, and after she had it a week later, she went a week seizure-free.
Yeah, kitty.
The child who had 300 seizures a week was now down to just one every 7 days.
When it was time for Scott Chipman to make his presentation, I decided to wait and not interrupt, even though I witnessed lies and hypocrisy. But I knew that the moment I objected, I would be thrown out because the Redlands Tea Party also does not like their propaganda refuted or debated. I watched the hypocrisy of two old men with glasses of beer in front of them while they were signing an anti-marijuana petition. I watched and kept quiet while one of Scott Chipman's cohorts, with his big alligator tears, crying over children going to hospitals after eating marijuana-laced candy, never mentioning the fact that in the history of the world, not one person has ever died of an overdose of marijuana. You can't even say that about aspirin. When question time came, I stood up and started to question Scott Chipman, and he immediately sat down. So I challenged him to a debate. And an off-duty police officer started yelling at me at the top of his lungs to sit down and shut up. Of course, this is how these coward bullies work. He was obviously bigger and younger than I am and trained to beat my ass. So, on my way out, I once again accused Scott Chipman of being a liar. And I was thrown out, but not without a parting comment from another older cop telling me that he had the power to arrest me. I decided not to push it because I know cowardice cops beat up people and then hold them in jail and not let you see your lawyer until your wounds heal. That's how coward cops work. Now, I'm not saying all police are cowards, and I wish that all good policemen would stand up against these cowards, and they are bullies as well. This is how the devil works, folks. He is truly the prince of this world, and his followers love money. With all the money that is made with this draconian drug war, it is no wonder that so many people are corrupted, and they are always first to justify their actions with some self-righteous idea of morality. They attempt to pull the speck from your eye while the plank remains in theirs. Marijuana is the greatest and safest of all of God's plants. No person or government should ever be allowed to use force to control a plant. This is the very reason why healthcare costs are completely out of control, because we might be able to heal ourselves with one of God's plants for free. To be a patriotic American is to believe and support our God-given inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Anything less is traitorous. Government has been slowly chipping away at these rights, and it's about time we started chipping away at their tyranny. Vote yes on Proposition 64 and start chipping away at tyranny. I'll talk to you later.